Well, hello my lovely stitchy friends, and how are you doing? So, I know I'm a bit behind with the Flosstube. I think it's been 5 weeks since my last one. And I spoke to Sally Flossie Sews and Grows last week on a Zoom. And she said, Charlie, when are you coming back? When's your next Flosstube? And I was just, I don't know. The weather's just been so dreadful. Again, I really had a glimmer of spring again on Monday, but then all this week it's just been non-stop rain and wind. Like, there's no way I could get out and record outside. But today I bring you outside, but in the car, because the wind was so dreadful on my last video, and I really apologise for that. I really need to get this microphone situation sorted so I can record outside even in windy conditions. But I haven't really researched that, and then I've obviously got to like raise the funds to buy the equipment. So yeah, if you ever want to make a donation to support the podcast, the Flosstube, then I have got a coffee account, and I'd be grateful for any donation there. But yeah, I completely understand if you don't want to, or you're not able to. But I just thought I'd put that reminder out there that if you want to support, then you can. So yeah, today we're out in the car because my daughter has a art school class on a Saturday morning just around the corner from here, and I thought it's too wet and windy to record outside, but we're sort of half outside here, and this is a bit of time where I normally sit and stitch in the car in the lay-by outside this farm. It's quite quiet here, so I thought let's just try and get it done. So I need to make sure I'm not waffling. But yeah, I hope you're all doing really well, and thank you to everyone who shouted me out. There's been several of you, and I'm sorry I've not written them down, but I appreciate you all from the bottom of my heart. And thank you all for your lovely comments on the last video. I really appreciate that, and I love reading them all and replying to you. Yeah, it's a really joyful thing for me to do. And yeah, let's just get straight into it. I've got some finishes here. So the first one is my March little freebie from the Stitching Cabin. She's been releasing these monthly freebies, and today's the 1st of April, isn't it? So I'm so excited to see what she's designed for April. But yeah, I stitched this on a 32 count antique white Spygart, and I used, did I use all the call for flosses? I think I did. I used all the call for flosses, and I just finished it on a bit of foam board, well, a bit of mount board with some wadding, and just glue gunned it, stuck a magnet here so that it sticks onto my little metal tin, which I've got from my friend now who gifted me a tin. So if I remember, I'll pop a picture in here so I can show you what it looks like. So I store all the ones that aren't that month in the tin, and then I have this on the front of the tin. And it's great because I've realised that I can put all my needle minders on the other side of the tin, so it's become a really great, fantastic tool for me. I'm really pleased with that. I also finished Pastel Garden, the mini one, and this is from UnaBuenaPieza, Anna, and me and Mia, the Creepy Stitcher, at Creepy Stitcher on Instagram, we started this together as the Equality for All Sal. So there's still people stitching it, some people have finished, but you're more than welcome to come and join us at any time on this. It's just a really fantastic cause, just to promote equality for everyone, all animals, all people. Yeah, and I love this because obviously it had the rainbows in for LGBTQ plus community. Also had the little animal on here to represent for me all sentient beings. But I hope that one day they will all be valued and appreciated as much as humans as well. I loved stitching this. I used a lot of my own colours from Stash for this one. as I didn't have a lot of the ones that was called for. But yeah, haven't quite finished it yet. I'm not going to finish it in a hoop. I am going to finish this one in a frame. I just need to get a custom mount made so I can get it put in a square frame. So yeah, just thinking if I bought something to hold behind other things. Let's see what I've got in my bag. Must have a bit of paper or something. Oh yeah, this would be the job. So I also finished, oh that's got a bit of writing on it, hang on a second. Oh, this is better. So this was another stitch along that I started with several other people. We've got an Instagram chat at the moment. So if you'd like to join us, you still can. There's some people that have finished, some people still stitching it, some that are not yet stitched it. And it was a lovely little group. We just had a chat about what fabrics we were going to pick, what colours we were going to pick for our flosses, and just showing our finishing. And sorry, you'll have to excuse the state of my nails. I need to take that varnish off. But yeah, it was a lovely little chat group, and I decided to stitch this on some new fabric that I got this month. And this is, so I got 32 count in vintage rose. So beautiful. And I used a combination of flosses. So here we've got Tom and Lily Creations, Petunia, I think it was Petunia, and the writing, the Hello Spring, that is Tom and Lily again in olive. And then I used DMC for here and these little orange stitches, and then the border I did in Tropical Paradise, which is a classic Colourworks. And I'm planning on stitching that into a little pillow. But yeah, I'm trying to think of the hashtag we used for this. I think it was, oh, and I forgot to tell you, this is a Lizzie Kate freebie. It's a freebie on her website. She's got loads of lovely freebies on her website. I'll try and remember to leave the link for those in the down bar. But there's quite a few that I'd like to stitch. And I'm just thinking what hashtag we used. I think it was Hello Spring 2023 SAL. So yeah, come and look at the hashtag and come and join us if you'd like to. I also finished Yasmin's latest release, one of her latest releases. She released two at the same time. And this one is the Spring Bouquet. I'm pretty sure it's just called Spring Bouquet. I better get a bit confused because I've got another bouquet one at the moment, which I'll show you as well. And this was also a stitch along. I've got a real thing about stitch alongs this year. This was a stitch along with Emily. Hi Emily. And she's M's, I always forget her hashtag. M's underscore stitches, and there might be another little bit. I'll put her in the down bar as well. And Kim, lovely Kim, hi Kim, of Stitchy Squirrels, she joined us. And Yaz was stitching it with us at the time because she was still doing her model. So yeah, I chose to stitch this on the lovely fabric from Crafty Kate, Fabrics by Crafty Kate. And this was her February fabric of the month. I get 32 count even weave from her. I love this fabric, it's such a gorgeous neutral, and she is going to be adding this into her shop, so if you're interested in this then keep an eye out on her regular shop updates and you should be able to get your hands on this. I used all the called for DMC in Yaz's pattern. I couldn't run fast enough to buy this pattern, I just loved it as soon as she showed it on her Flosstube. The only thing I changed was these little backstitched, I hope that's not blowing out too much, these little backstitched decorations on the wings. Yaz had put those as a red 666, but I wanted to keep with the pastel colours, so I just used the pink that was called for in the centre of the flowers. and I really love how this turned out. I'm going to frame this. I found the perfect frame in a charity shop the other day for £1. It was a really lovely Next frame that was the perfect size, and it was just like it was meant to be. So yeah, I'm going to get that framed really soon. And the last finish I've got to show you was something I've been dragging my heels with for a really long time. It was sat languishing for a really long time, and I pulled it out, and once I started working on it I just didn't want to stop, so I actually picked this up. There was hardly any of it done. I think there was maybe like a very small area that was finished, and I just worked on it until I got it done. So this is Emma Louise cross stitch. She is a Cornish designer. She does lots of Cornish coastal scenes, and I love seahorses, as many of you will know that have been here many times before. So when I saw this, it was like, I just cannot not stitch this. I just love it. It's anchor threads that came in the kit. It was even weave fabric. I can't remember what size even weave this is. And yeah, I really loved stitching on it, and I think this is another one I'm going to frame soon. So yeah, one last look. Hope we're not getting too much shadow actually because of the sun. The sun's annoyingly came out. Trying to think, maybe I should move the car over there, but then I might be blocking the farmer. So yeah, that's my last finish. I've got so many finishes done recently, which has been really lovely. I think I got down to 11 whips, but then I started another one last night, which I'm going to show you, which I found Barbara Anna showed yesterday morning, sorry, and there was no way I could not buy it and start it straight away. So I'm back up to 12 whips, which is fine. I'm happy with that number. Okay, so let's go on to whips. I think this is a new start since I last saw you, I'm pretty sure. No, maybe not. Now I've actually got this out, I'm actually wondering if I even stitched on this since I last showed you. But anyway, I'll show it to you again. This is Marion the Librarian by... who's the designer? I think it's La-di-da. Just let me check. Yeah, La-di-da. Oh, I'm getting a bit hot. Let's take this off. That sun is really hot when it comes out. So yeah, this is La-di-da Stitches. I'm stitching this on a bit of fabric that I bought from Sarah's D-stash. It's a 36 count foxglove and lace. And I think it was called... what's this fabric called? Latte, 36 count Latte. And from what I understand, foxglove and lace is not dyeing fabric anymore, which is a real shame because it's gorgeous this, and it's finished so lovely. It's been overlocked, this fabric. And yeah, I'm using all the called for fancy flosses, which are absolutely delicious. They're here. And yeah, now I've got this out, I don't think I have worked on it since I last showed you, but so yeah, I need to get back onto that at some point because it is really lovely. And I'm stitching that 1/2, and it's so delicately pretty. So yeah, I think I'm going to try stitching 1/2 a bit more often. Oh, I hope that the sun's going to go behind the clouds again. I think it will in a minute because it's really grey over there. If it's not the wind, it's the sun, but I'm sure you'd rather see me than not see me at all. Okay. The next one is Barbara Anna. I counted last night that 4 of my whips out of 12 are Barbara Anna at the moment, but you all know I'm Barbara Anna fanatic, so yeah. This is Miss Coffee. which again is another Sal with lovely Yasmin. Yasmin's made with love. And Yasmin is so close to her goal for raising money for MenCap for the London Marathon. I think I looked the other day and she's only about £180 away from her target of £2,500. So I need to wing a donation her way again, just to encourage her on. But if you're able to, go over and donate to Yasmin and support her to reach her target, and yeah, just encourage her with her massive goal that she's going to achieve, her big dreams. So we started this for Yaz's birthday last year, and I'm getting quite far with this one. I think if I spent a good 6 days on this, I could just crack on with it and get it done. But I just want to savour it as well at the same time. I just love it so much. It's just stunning, isn't it? Sorry, I have got some working flosses there. But yeah, that's Miss Coffee. And that's a kit from Nitka, which you can't buy from at the moment, which is a real shame. But I have got a personal determination that once I finish these 3 kits from the Do Not Miss a Miss kits, there's Miss Coffee, Miss Scissors and Miss Tea, which I've not even started yet. So I've got a personal determination that once I've finished those 3 patterns in the Do Not Miss a Miss kit, that we will be able to freely buy from Nitka again. There's so many kits I want to buy from them, not just Barbara Anna ones, but other designers that they sell kits for. Particularly, there's one that's called, I think it's called Finders Keepers. I'll try and put a picture in here. I just fell in love with it. But they released it after the restrictions came in place, so I haven't been able to get my hands on it. I really want the Moths and Mushrooms kit by Barbara Anna, the 22 balloons, and the I can never say this word, the Matryoshka doll. If that's the wrong pronunciation, I hope you know what I mean. Like the Russian doll. I really want that one too. But you know, I've got to be patient sometimes with these things, and you know, hopefully this war will be over very soon and peace will resume, and just trade will become easier again for small businesses in Russia and Ukraine, and ultimately that people will stop suffering. Yeah, it's just not good all round, is it? And I just wish it didn't happen in the first place. Next one, surprise surprise, is another Sal. This is the Blooming Lovely Sal with Sarah, Kim, Jenny, who's already finished. Karen's joined us from Weedy Flower Creations. I think there was one other person. Sarah, Kim, me, Jenny, Karen, maybe that was it. But this is from a old cross stitcher magazine. Thank goodness that sun's gone in. It's quite overcast now, hopefully it'll be a lot better. Sorry if you were struggling to see before, but I'm trying my best. It's easier to record out of my house because of my feral children. Although some of you said they like hearing them, so. But my house is just chaotic. It's never tidy. It's just a nightmare. I need to de-stash more stuff again. But I know that all you people that are mum and dads, you know, you get it. Even if your kids have fled the nest, I'm sure that you get it. There's just stuff everywhere all the time. It's hard to get anything clean and tidy, and even if you do, it's messed up within the next 10 minutes. So yeah, this is Blooming Lovely. And Karen has actually told me that this is available to buy on the Cross Stitcher app. So this is the summer 2015 issue. Come and join us if you want to. And it's just called Blooming Lovely SAL. I'm stitching this on a really lovely sparkly fabric called Before the Storm. It's a 28 count that I bought from Patchwork Rabbit, and this is also progressing quite a lot. Yeah, so I've done all of one side of the jug. I've just got to go and do the other side. I'm using all the called for flosses. But isn't this flower absolutely stunning? I loved stitching that one. That was probably my favourite. I just love the colours in this. I think it's adorable. So yeah, again, another one again. If I just cracked on with it, I would get it done fairly quickly, I think. But yeah, I love these flosses. They're so bright and cheerful. These are some floss drops that I made myself. Oh, and that's another thing I was going to say before I forget mentioning floss drops. Thank you to all of you who have supported my last 2 floss drop sales of my jelly printed floss drops. I'll put some pictures in here as well when I edit, so you know what I'm talking about. But the last 2 sales have gone exceptionally well, and I'm so grateful to you all. Like, I've been a stay-at-home mum for the last 6 years, just over 6 years, since my first daughter was born. Let me just check the time before I start waffling. Yeah, it's fine. If I don't finish recording by the time I've got to go and pick my daughter up, I'll finish it off at home. But since my first daughter was born, I decided to give up my career as a mental health nurse, and that felt like the right thing to do. It was always my plan to homeschool my daughter, and I felt at peace with that. But it's really nice to do something and earn some money, you know, that I've earned for myself, you know, that my husband hasn't earned. It makes me feel a sense of value, and yeah, a sense of value, and that I have a place in my life, a position in my life that is not just being, you know, homemaker, a wife and mum, and that feels really important to me. Although, you know, my children are the most important thing in my life, and I want to support them wholeheartedly, but at the same time, like, yeah, I want to do more than that. So thank you to you all. Like, it's really warmed my heart again that so many of you supported me in this venture of my small business. And I've had several messages to ask when the next floss drop sale would be, and it's a week today actually, so next Saturday, the 8th of April at 9 PM Greenwich Mean Time. So yeah, I've mainly been selling in the UK. I had one lady ask me if I would ship to Canada, which I absolutely did, and they arrived absolutely fine. And because I can manage to send them as a large letter, it wasn't too expensive. I think it cost like £4 in postage, just over £4 in postage, but I know Royal Mail are going to put their prices up again. So if you do live overseas and you'd like to buy some floss drops at the sale, just message me and I can tell you how much it will be, including the shipping, because I sell the floss drops including the postage, so I could just calculate that and it will just put it up a little bit more for you to buy. But it won't be much more, it'll just be like £1 or £2, depending on what the Royal Mail prices go up to. So yeah. Next whip is in my lovely butterfly bag that I made a little while ago. And this is Lizzie Kate, and it's the Things Unseen mystery sampler, and this is inspired by Helen Keller, and it says on it, the best and most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even touched, they must be felt with the heart. And I made some progress on this on the last stitch across the pond, which was really lovely. That was the first stitch across the pond that I went to, and I really enjoyed myself. And I worked a lot more on the border because it just takes no concentration. The sun's out a bit again, isn't it? So yeah, this is where we've got to. I'm just using Midian DMC Conversion, and yeah, I'm really enjoying this one. I really like how the colours look on this fabric. I'm using a 32 count coffee stain by Fabric Flair, which I bought on the Sew It All website. So yeah, love that one. I'm looking forward to seeing it progress and grow. And with this 3-part mystery sampler, there is a couple of freebies included in that pattern, which I'm really looking forward to stitching too. There's 2 little pin cushions, or 2 little cushions. Okay, 2 more whips to go. So the next one, I talked about this in my last Flosstube, that I really wanted to buy it, and I did go home and I did buy it either that day or the day after. This is a kit from Cotton and Twine. It's the February. Oh, someone's just turning their car. Yeah, it's not very often that people come down here. Occasionally the odd dog walker. Sometimes the farmer comes in and out with his tractor. You see me sitting here a few times, he probably thinks, oh, she's here again. What's she doing here? Or maybe he doesn't even notice. Not everyone's that observant, are they? So yeah, here's the flossers. Gorgeous, aren't they? And these are DMC. This is the pattern. So you get everything in the kit. You get that lovely Liberty fabric. You get the canvas to mount it onto. You get all your flosses. You get the needle. You've got a lovely little home trinket, which I'm actually thinking about making into a needle minder. Emily thought it was a needle minder, that I'd made it into one. And when I showed a picture of this on my Instagram, and I said to her, I'm going to steal that idea. You've got some really lovely vegan sweets, Candy Kitten sweets, which I've already eaten. Yeah, I think that was everything. Oh, and a little tea bag. I've not had the cup of tea yet. And I'm really enjoying this. I'm halfway through. Oh, and you get the fabric as well, of course, the Aida. Can't remember what count fabric this is actually. Let me just check. 16 count. This is lovely to stitch on, and it stitches up really, really quick. I don't think I'm mounting it onto the canvas actually. I'm going to try and make this into a little travel project bag, and I'm going to have this either on the front or on the back, a little zipped project bag for travelling with tiny minis. And I'll use the canvas for something else. I could even just give the canvas to my daughters to you know, for my daughters to use. I feel like I've just dropped something. Yeah, I have. Where have I put it? Oh, it's there. I'm not very with it because I stayed up too late stitching on Barbara Anna. I think I stayed up till 1, which is a bit late for me actually. I do normally stay up till about midnight-ish, but 1's a bit late for me. Right, we've got about 20-25 minutes, so let's crack on. Right, my last whip. This is the one I was talking about. So this is another collaboration between Barbara Anna and Nitka Moscow. Barbara Anna showed it on her Instagram yesterday morning, and as soon as I saw it, I was just like flabbergasted, you know. It's so beautiful. It's called Madame Butterfly, which I haven't read I didn't read the blurb about it, but from what I understand, is it like an opera or something? I think it does have a musical background. I need to read more about the history about that. The only reason I say that is because a colleague that I used to work with, when her mum sadly passed away, I'm sure she had Madame Butterfly played at her funeral, and I remember her playing this piece of music to me. It was absolutely beautiful. I hope I've got this right and I'm not got completely the wrong end of the stick. But yeah, anyway, I felt gutted. I thought I'm never going to get this kit, and if I can get it, it might even be a year, 2 years. We have no idea when those restrictions are going to lift for Russia. I felt gutted, but then it just was a reminder that it will come when it's the right time, like I was talking about before with the kits. I felt truly gutted. I did message Barbara Anna like a fangirl. She's so lovely. She's such a humble and lovely designer. You know, out of the many designers that I've had conversations with, I think Barbara Anna is probably one of the loveliest and most humble, apart from Yasmin, of course. And anyway, she put a message up later to say that we could private message her and to be patient, but that we could buy the pattern. I couldn't get there quick enough, so I messaged her straight away, and she invoiced me on PayPal. It was £10.99 plus £1 PayPal fee, and she emailed me the pattern. So within seeing that Instagram post, I had the pattern within, I would say, like 10-15 minutes. And I ran upstairs to my husband and I was like, I've got it, I've got it, I've got it, like really excited. And he just looked at me like I was an absolute alien. I did message Yaz and say this to her yesterday. And I was like, he just doesn't get it, but you lot get it, so it's fine. I haven't got a picture of the cover page, so I will put a picture here. Isn't she stunning? I'm doing the eyes closed version, and I'm doing it on 25 count. I want this lovely lady as big as possible, and I was adamant I was starting it straight away. I only had one 25 count fabric in my stash, and I was thinking, can I make this work? I'm still not 100% sure, but I'm going with it because it's the same fabric that I used for Butterfly Dreams. I'll put a picture here again, which was the freebie from the Wing Dreams Stitch Along of Barbara Anna's. So, you know, there's a butterfly theme going on here, and as Kim said, you know, they can be companion pieces. When you look at Madame Butterfly, there is lots of reds and oranges in this pattern, and there also is in Butterfly Dreams, so I'm hoping that I can make it work. So yeah, tell me your opinion. But yeah, here she is so far. Oh, it's growing. Got quite a bit done because I stayed up till 1 AM. But yeah, this is the start of the bridge of her nose and her, what do I always call these? The pineal gland, because she always highlights these bits. Obviously, if you know about the pineal gland, it's very important. So I'm glad that Barbara Anna highlights that. It might have nothing to do with that, but that's how I interpret it. This is the start of the butterfly, and obviously the wing, and oh my god, I love it. I love these colours. I mean, if I'd have had an ivory or an antique white in my stash, that's probably what I would have gone for. But I'm not completely unhappy with it. I'm looking forward to seeing how it's going to grow. Sometimes I just have a bit of lacking confidence in my colour choices, you know, but it is popping, it's popping, and that's a good thing. So yeah, it's interesting how these colours are playing against each other. Oh, the other thing I should mention is that there was 2 flosses that I didn't have, one yellow and one pink, I think it was. So I've just gone for the next shade up, and I think they're fine, so I'm just going with that. There's some impatience here, as you can tell. And let's talk about this as well. This was a really lovely brooch that I recently bought on eBay. Me and Kim were talking about vintage brooches and converting them into needle minders. So I was watching this one on eBay, and then the seller contacted me and offered me like a percentage off. I thought, yeah, go on then. So I popped it in my basket. I think I got it for £4 including postage, which is a bargain. So it had a brooch back on it. I heated the glue that was there up with my hot glue gun. Like as it was warming up, I just put the tip of the glue gun onto the glue that was there, and then the brooch came off really, really easily. And then I just put a strong magnet on the back. So yeah, I love how that looks. And do not lose that needle, Charlie. That is the really lovely Lakeside needle. That's like £2.9 now. £2.9 a needle. So I don't want to lose that. So yeah, send me your opinions. I won't be upset. Tell me your honest opinions about whether you think that fabric's going to work. And I should mention it's Spygott 25 count in sage green. Right, that's all my whips. Let's talk about lovely mail and stash. So I'll show you this. This is some flosses that I just received, I think the day before yesterday, from Arts and Designs. And another needle minder that I've made. I won't get it out of the pack, but yeah, I made this needle minder at the same time. It's a little house. I got a pack of different houses, just little wooden, I don't know what they are. I think you could just use them in crafts, but I put a needle on the back, magnet on the back to make it into a needle minder. Some flosses that I didn't have, and some antique white. What I thought was 32 count Spygott. When it arrived, I've never used this fabric before. Is it? I don't know how to pronounce this. Is it Jobelan? Probably butchered that, but hopefully you know what I'm talking about. And this is for the Historical Sampler Company. They are doing A Home Is Where the Heart Is, Sal, and it's designed by Emma Congdon. If you haven't seen the sneak peeks yet, go over and see it. It's absolutely gorgeous. As soon as I saw it, I had to buy it. That starts this Tuesday, the 4th of December. So yeah, can't wait to start that. Another Sal, no surprise there. So from Nashville Market, I was very restrained. I only bought 2 patterns. I bought the Heart in Hand floral etchings, and I have ordered some fabric from Flora Shelf this. I am going to stitch it as it's called for. I might pick some of my own floss colours. I might use some Tom and Lily that Kim gifted me. It's stitched on a 36 count. I might do it on a 32. I'm going to see how I feel. But Cecilia from Heart in Hand did an Instagram story, and she showed this pillow where she'd actually stitched 1 flower on a pillow on 20 count Aida. So I've ordered some 20 count Aida in Vintage Country Mocha from Flora Shell. I thought it might be here by now. I hope it has not got lost in the post, or hopefully it's coming today. So yeah, I'm going to stitch 1 flower as a pillow on 20 count, and then I'm going to do the whole piece as well. And I also bought the Heart in Hand Everyday Things, which says the everyday sweet little things are the most important, and it's got stitch, nature, home, friends and family. And you get a little button embellishment, the little blue one that's there with that. Right, how are we doing? Sorry, I keep checking the time. Right, I think we're going to be able to get this done. I couldn't resist this from Jeff P. Smith. I wanted this desperately as well when Barbara Anna released this fairly recently. And this is the Dreaming Fortune Teller. And I'm going to use the rest of the fabric from my finish of Yaz's Floral Bouquet, Spring Bouquet, to stitch this. The lovely February fabric from Fabrics by Crafty Kate. I've got plenty left over to put that on. I think that's a lovely neutral, and I think these oranges yellows will really pop on that. I want to start that soon. I just remembered I've not bought March's Fabric of the Month from Kate. It arrived the other day. It's stunning. It's a really lovely blue, and I'm actually going to stitch Barbara Anna Woodland Dreams, which I've also got the paper copy from Jeff P. Smith in my stash, so I'm gonna stitch that on that piece. I've already decided. My last kit from Andriana arrived from Hobby Jobby. This is the tea keepers, so I've started coffee keepers. I've got coffee admirers in my stash, which I've showed on previous Flosstubes, and now I've got the final one, which is tea keepers. I bought this in the sale and I got a discount as well. They sent me a discount code, so I snapped that up. Can't wait to start these as well. Get them framed in a row eventually in my kitchen. I also couldn't resist this. Again, I've only got a black and white printer, so I'll put a picture up here. So Crafty Yams, she has opened her own Etsy shop, and this is the first item that she's put in there, and I fell in love with this straight away. It's the Cranky Cat sampler. It's fantastic, and I messaged her and said I love it so much. I love their facial expressions on the cats, and this scene over here, it reminds me of Funny Bones, the book. So I read that book to my kids a lot, and I always have. And she replied to me and said that is what it's inspired by. She reads it to her kids as well. And I love the little mice with the cheese. Oh, I just love it. I had to buy it. So yeah. I haven't got all the flosses for that, so I need to either pick from stash or you know, order them in. I've just remembered I forgot something else today as well, some fabric that I dyed for this pattern. Again, I'll put a picture up, but this is Night Garden. I went for the large version by UnaBuenaPieza. I enjoyed the Pastel Garden mini so much I had to buy something else from her, and I loved this one as soon as she released it recently. And I've bought a piece of 32 count Zweigart white, and I've hand dyed it myself with Dylon dye. I used I'm trying to think what I used. It's a purple shade. It's come out really lovely. So again, I need to buy some of the flosses for that. I haven't got them all, and I'll get that started. Okay, some lovely mail is the last thing. I've got 3 pieces of lovely mail and then we're done. So lovely Kim, she sent me, I was so envious of everyone that they were stitching this. This is the Strawberry Fair by October House Fibre Arts. This is a new designer to me, but I absolutely love everything she designs. Her Nashville Market releases were absolutely stunning, and I am going to stitch them at some point. So Kim knew that I was jealous of everyone, and she finished with a pattern, and she really kindly sent it to me. But not only that, she sent me the flosses as well from Tom and Lily. So thank you, Kim. That's so kind and generous of you. And she said that once I finish stitching this, I can pass it on. So hopefully there'll be, you know, enough flosses there for me to give it away in a future floss tube, like the pattern and the remaining flosses. So yeah, thank you, Kim. A lovely dear friend of mine. I feel like I've known her forever, when in actual fact we've only known each other, you know, a few months, I think. But yeah, we talk every day on Instagram, which is really lovely. And yeah, it's lovely, the connections that I've made through this stitching community, through Instagram, through Flosstube. It's just so lovely. Yeah, thank you so much to so many of you. My life just wouldn't be the same if I hadn't met so many of you. Okay, the next one absolutely blew my socks off, and this is from lovely Lindsay at Wolfie Stitches on Instagram, who is again one of the loveliest, most beautiful souls I have ever met in my life. she is wonderful. If you don't know Lindsay, I highly recommend you go over to her Instagram. Her Instagram is absolutely stunning. Her photography skills are wonderful, just like Kim. Very inspiring. She uses lots of lovely fabrics. She's got really lovely patterns in her stash, a wide diversity of patterns that she stitches. Yeah, just really inspiring. And Lindsay also makes her own art. This is one of the things that she's painted and got printed. She sent me a lovely note on this, and she shared on her Instagram stories a little while ago some of her art, a big stack of art that she'd created, and I said to her how talented she is and that I particularly like this one, and never for a million years did I think that she would send it to me, and I was just absolutely blown away. Just look at this. Isn't that just stunning? I love everything about it, and I'm going to frame it and get it put up in my craft space. She also sent me some lovely fabric, which I didn't bring with me because it's in my stash, but she sent me this week's Dye Works Beachcomber, and she said this just reminds her of me, which is really sweet. And she sent me two lovely wolf needle minders, this one, which is really shiny and lovely. She also sent me this wooden pyrography one. So yeah, beautiful. Thank you so much, Lindsay, from the bottom of my heart. Let's just check the time one more time. Okay, we've got a few minutes, which is perfect. The last thing I've got to show you, I was contacted by A2V Brands, and they said would I like to try some kits from them, and they offered me Peter Rabbit ones, but I said that I wasn't overly keen, but thank you for the very kind offer. Anyway, they replied to me and said, would you like some Mr. Men? Now, my kids, both of them, have always loved Mr. Men, and my youngest daughter in particular, Fern, she gets a whole stack of Mr. Men books and carries them all around the house. She absolutely loves Mr. Men. So I said, yes, please, I would love that. Anyway, it arrived. It was so beautifully packaged. The box had all this lovely colourful yarn tied around it. The actual kits came wrapped in this really lovely Mr. Men fabric in like a little wrapped bundle. And they sent me this really lovely kit. So you get 4 pieces of Aida and you can stitch them individually. So I'm gonna start with this one, I think, Live Happy, because I just love that facial expression and the saying behind it. I will probably do the bump and Little Miss Sunshine, but I'm not keen on Little Miss Princess, so I probably won't do that one. They also sent me this, which is a cushion kit, which I absolutely love. I'm not too sure if I'm going to stitch it on this cushion because I think that's going to be a bit fiddly. I might just stitch it on a panel of Aida and then decide what to do with it. But yeah, I might even frame it. So yeah, thank you to A2V Brands, and I will be sharing my progress with that on my Instagram. I'm planning to start that soon. And yeah, that's everything, which is just the perfect time to stop because I've got to quickly pack my bag and then go and pick her up, which is a few minutes down the road. So yeah, I hope this is okay. I hope the sun wasn't too disruptive when you watch this. At least we've got no wind, so hopefully you can hear me clearly. And thanks for coming back to watch me again. Please like and comment and subscribe. And yeah, thanks so much, and I've loved being back talking to you all. Take care.